I know it may not seem it, but it's been 3 weeks since we've done a weekly news update. I had been putting a few videos out since the water tower, but a lot of them have been events from the water tower or some other things that I needed to get out, like MetaZoo hours. We have a lot to cover, so let's get to it. Once upon a time, MetaZoo announced that they wanted to do an LGS tour around the country, and recently MetaZoo announced that if you're a store owner or a game space, an LGS, what have you, and you are in an area where MetaZoo is going to be for one of their events, reach out to them. MetaZoo is going to be at the Collecticons this year, and they are running a bunch of tournaments, or tower events as they call them, so if you do fall into that category, keep up with what MetaZoo is doing and reach out. If you need details on where they're going to be, you can go to MetaZooArchives.com, and there's a lot of information about events on that website. If you participated in the pumpkin carving contest back in October, we have some good news for you. The pumpkin carving contest was used to allow the community to win tickets to the Salem event, which was a closed event. It was one of only a few different ways to gain entry to that release event. Everybody who participated was eligible to receive one of these promos, and the good news is people are getting these in hand as of last week. We've had a pay money Wubby promo in the past with the Green Goblin, and it's been announced that they are going to be working on a pay money Wubby 2.0 this year. And that does make a lot of sense with that team being more integrated into MetaZoo. We have Alex as the art director, and we have Ham and Cheddar helping with the events and streams, most recently at the Water Tower in Ohio. MetaZoo is supporting the Mexican president's recent claim that there has been a sighting of the Yucatan Alex in Mexico. Everything is mystic. There has been photographic evidence taken by a rail engineer of an Alex. This one specifically was hiding up in a tree. And Alex are Mayan spirits that are known to take a physical form to communicate or play tricks on humans. But that's not all. MetaZoo has announced that they are going to have an Alex promo. It's still unclear how to obtain this promo, but they did jump on that pretty quickly. So that's pretty cool to see. We got our first look at the new Holo pattern for the Kickstarter poker cards, and this is a very familiar pattern for us. Many of the Cryptid Nation-based promos have this basic star pattern, and since the Kickstarter cards are white-backed, this is going to be the cleanest form of this Holo pattern that we've seen. So these cards are really going to give a chance for that Holo pattern to shine. The Seance binder should be dropping any day now, and we did get a little tease of what that could look like. The Seance binder will be purple, featuring many of the beasties from Seance, including Walking Sam. And behind that, you can see this orange brownish colored binder. You can see the Payasa bird in the middle of that one. There's still no indication when we're going to get the native binder, but hopefully it will be released alongside native. I do like to put my cards in the set binder, so typically I do wait for the binder to come out before I put them in the binders. Mike is currently working his way through an interview tour. As of the recording of this video here, there have been 4 interviews so far. The first one was on March 10th with EpicTube HD. The second was a recorded episode of Cryptid Cocktail Party, which released on March 13th. Also on March 13th was a live interview with Termentic. This was followed up with a recorded interview with MetaZoo Dean and Matt on the Cryptid Nation podcast that dropped on March 15th. I'm not sure the schedule after that. I do know that I have an interview with Mike on Tuesday, the 21st at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. This is expected to be a live interview, so definitely mark your calendars, be there, and we will be accepting some questions from the community. If you'd like those links, or if you'd like to stay up to date with the current interview schedule, you can go to MetaZooArchives.com. There's a link in the description below to the specific article for the interviews. During a recent MetaZoo hour, Mike said, let's play a game. Now, if this is anything like the movie series, I'm gonna nope out of here, but at the end of March, they're gonna reward the community member, which brings the most new memberships to the Discord, with a special 1-of-1 Platinum Discord medal. Now you do have to do this properly. If you try to copy the invite link in the Discord, it's going to give you the generic MetaZoo Games invite that is not personalized to you. So if you want to participate in this, make sure that you are generating a personal link. One thing to note is that if you do a never expires link, it will default to the MetaZoo Games link that is not personalized. You have to do a 7-day link. And if you're watching this and you're not part of the Discord, my custom link is in the description below, so please join and help me get that medal. For a couple of these smaller announcements, we got a tease that we're gonna be getting a sticker book. And this is great. I am still waiting on the coloring book that was announced last year for my kids, but they also love stickers. So this is also pretty awesome for my children. Between this, the possible coloring book, and the mini cards, I'm looking for ways to get my kids more involved in MetaZoo. They do love MetaZoo for what they've seen so far. Specifically, Loveland Frogman and Agua are among their favorite cryptids so far. I brought an Agua plushie back and they haven't put it down since. Another small update, Bear Walker is shipping soon. We've got an update specifically from Bear Walker on this one that they're going to be out soon. Now for some of the bigger updates, let's talk about spoiler season. Starting on March 13th, leading all the way up to the release of Native, partners and content creators in the community get to spoil a card every day. Sometimes we're going to get multiple cards per day. Some of these have been shown already, but to go through the list, on March 13th we had Argos, on March 14th Pokecharles, March 15th Aloha Card Shop and Southern Heat Collectibles, on the 16th we had MetaZoo Dean with MetaZoo Nation Australia, on the 17th we had Dr. Cards, on the 18th Immortal Workshop showed off a card, on the 19th Cardboardia and Captain Asia were both able to show off cards. As we look into week 2 of the spoilers, it kicks off with Termentic on the 20th. MetaZoo and Steve Aoki are going to be doing a spoiler on the 21st, which is the day that I have my interview with Mike. On the 22nd, we have EpicTube HD. On the 23rd, Caster Society. On the 24th, Claire, the Rusty Ranger, will be giving us a spoiler. On the 25th, we have Two Dudes Gaming. On the 26th, Hyperbole and Markers V. For week 3, we kick off with the PokeZoo on the 27th, AKW Collectibles and Fossil 2X on the 28th, Geeky Toy Hunt on the 29th, Bats on the 30th, and if you watch Casters and Cryptids, you know who Bats is, IHC Cards and myself on the 31st, and it's possible there that could be the pre-order date, and if it is, we're going to do something big for that stream. Immortal Workshop gets April Fool's Day. On April 2nd, AKW Collectibles again and SJC Collectibles. And then for the final week for spoiler season, we have Catch 'em All Collectibles and Metakai on the 3rd, Mint Collectibles on April 4th, Hyperbole and Windy City Pop Shop on April 5th, Brooklyn Crew Mama on the 6th, and Sneakouts on the 7th. Now those are just for digital spoilers. We're going to be handed those from MetaZoo. MetaZoo knows what they're going to be. Starting at the end of March, the spoiler packs will be shipping out to content creators, and this will be much more random. So leading into April, we're going to have a very tailored spoiler season. And then in that first and second week of April, we're going to have a much more random and likely get the whole set spoiled to us. Now, obviously, we've had a couple of spoilers so far. I am going to cover those in a separate video where we'll talk about the playability of some of those cards and some cards that they could go with. All right, this wouldn't be a MetaZoo news update without talking about towers. So first off, the water tower happened since our last weekly update. I did cover that a few different ways with an overall update of the tower, which you can catch right up there. Or if you want to see a really interesting spell book that was at the event, you can check out that video there. Links for those will also be in the description below, so you can catch those at the end of the video if you'd like. As we look forward to the Earth Tower next month, it's going to kick off with a gala on April 14th. The gala is invite only, and that invite list goes to influencers, full set holders, VIPs, partners, 75 were given to regular token holders, and some of the players for the Earth Tower were also invited to the gala. It will be held at the Chelsea Music Hall, and there's going to be chances to bid on some original art there. There will be a special set available, and you'll have chances to collect promos, plushies, spoiler packs, and other exclusive items. The event will be live streamed, so if you can't make it to the gala and you're at home, or you're going to be in New York for the Earth Tower and not at the gala, you can still see what's going on there. It's also been mentioned that there is a partnership with eBay that has to do with the gala, so I imagine that there is going to be some way for those of us at home to purchase something from the gala. And if you're going to the gala, you're going to be getting a very cool and special Sam St. Clair promo. Now, this is a reprint of Sam St. Clair from Cryptid Nation with new art. The art is very fitting for the gala. Now, as we look to the event, which is on the 15th and 16th, we've seen the Earth Tower promo. It features Sinkhole Sam. The power of that card is very interesting. You fatigue it to then give one of your beasties burrow until the end of the next turn. It's very similar to Sinkhole Sam's ability, but this is an artifact that goes into the arena and you can use it every turn. Earth Tower signups went live on February 28th and went until March 9th, so there was a wide window for people to be able to apply to compete at the Earth Tower. For the Earth Tower, it was finally announced what Terra bonuses will be active for the Earth Tower, so if you are building your spellbooks, we now know that City, Mountain, Desert, Swamp, and Ground are granted a 3x multiplier for the Earth Tower. Most of these will not be surprising to casters preparing for the Earth Tower except for City, but that was one that was speculated to be allowed since it's taking place in New York City. Tickets went up on March 17th for $25 to get into the event for spectators, and a spectator bundle also went up on the marketplace for $150. That includes a hat, a playmat, a plushie, a What's Your Passion accessory, a tote bag, a lanyard, a spectator badge, and 2 promos. Now, a thing to note about that bundle is that it has to be picked up in person. You can't have it shipped to you. So if you're not going to be attending the event, do not buy that bundle. They've also said multiple times in the chat it is non-transferable, so don't buy it and ask somebody else to pick it up for you. And now that we've talked about the bonuses for the Earth Tower, I do want to talk about one tease that we've been given over the last couple of weeks, and that is for the Pyasa bird. The native Pyasa bird is an earth fire beastie costing 2 of each. It has 100 LP, you can have 1 per spell book. For traits, it has flash, flying, and stone skin, which are all amazing traits. And it gets terra boosts for both desert and mountain. Both of those give it 40 attack each. Upon contracting this Pyasa bird, you can contract a flame or earth spell from your cemetery for 3 less aura, or you may destroy a beastie bird, caster, dragon, humanoid, or snake. Both of the contract effects here are incredibly powerful and allow you to choose which one you want to do depending on the situation you're in. It has an attack that does 80 damage and 7 burn, and if magma is in eyesight, it does an additional 80 damage. And there's a win con with the attack effect as well. If you contract 4 flame or earth spells with different names this turn, you win. Now this win con does seem somewhat easy to pull off. There are a ton of low-cost flame spells, and with something like Rock Rain, you could just pay 1 to have it contracted. On top of that, if you consider that once it's contracted, you get to bring in a spell from your cemetery for 3 less aura. And if you're running Gassy alongside this, you could then run other spells from your cemetery to help with the win con. All you'd have to do is contract Pyasa bird. That would allow you to contract that first spell. You could then use Gassy to contract 3 more spells with different names, use a lightning in the bottle to awaken the Pyasa bird, and then attack with it. Now on top of the win con, it's going to be an incredibly powerful tower beastie. For Earth, with 2 terra bonuses that are going to be in play, and both being 40 attack each, that is a 240 damage increase. On top of the 80 it already does, 320. And if magma is in sight, which you can proc with magma fusion aura, it'll be hitting for 400. I know native is going to be released just before the tower, but I do expect that people are going to try to be including this Pyasa bird in their spellbooks. Now we have one last tower update, this time for Flame. The Flame Tower has been confirmed to be in Dallas, Texas. We've also got a look at an explosive rabbit plushie that'll be at the event. We still don't know the dates of the event. If it is still expected to take place in June, it will not coincide with the Collecticon. The Dallas Collecticon is in early May. Those are the main talking points that we needed to catch up on over the last 3 weeks. If you haven't caught up with the most recent MetaZoo Hour, you can catch that right over there. And don't forget that I'm doing a live stream with Mike on Tuesday.